What brought the retirement on, and how did you find out about the cyst?
Well, after my last fight, I cut weight real bad for that fight. So my weight cut was horrendous. I tore a hole in my lung and I gave myself this thing called subcutaneous emphysema. That happened. I made weight, most horrendous weight cut of my life. Almost died trying to make the weight. I was like 80 kilos the day before weigh-in. I needed to make 76.
And what did you do to cut weight?
Sauna suit, no food, no water. The worst way you could possibly do it, I did it. It was bad. It was so bad. But then again, look, that was me trying to prove a point. Everybody said I couldn't make 76 because I used to be huge. They said, nah, Jahzia will never make 76. So I was like, fucking go on then, watch. So I made 76. Took the fight, made 76. And I was in a world of trouble. It was a whole lot different. I didn't know any of my lung stuff had happened at this point. I just knew something was wrong. When we got home, I remember it clear as day. I'll never forget it because it was the most horrendous medical thing I'd experienced. I had a bite of my sandwich that I made. Then it like a little bit got stuck because my body hadn't been used to eating food. And then I grabbed a Powerade and I fucking jammed the food down, like washed it down with the Powerade. And I honestly, like I went white like a ghost and started sweating profusely. And then it felt like my whole reality changed. And then my heart like tensed up and I thought I was having a heart attack. And it was like went on for about 4 minutes, but I thought it had gone on for like 35 minutes. And I was crying afterwards to my missus and she rang the ambulance, come pick me up. And then they did all their tests and I'd fried my organs from cutting weight. So when I was breathing, cutting the weight and I breathed in, it ripped the hole in my lung. It was insane. But even then, I didn't know about the cyst. And then they did scans on my throat. And then when they took a scan of my head and throat, it showed up, the bottom of the cyst showed up in the back of the throat scan. And then they're like, hang on, this is big. You need to go and get a big scan where you go in the tunnel and they, fuck, that's scary. I hated that thing. It's like 20 minutes in there and it's like flat on your face. And it was horrendous, that experience. But then that's when they found it. And then we went to the neurosurgeon and that's when he just said to me, he was like, do you have kids? That was the first thing he said to me. I was like, yeah, well, there's your answer. Right. Because this whole time when all this happened, I was like, fuck yeah, I can't wait to get back in the ring. I'm going to do that better. I'm going to do that better. And then he sat there and he was like, fuck, do you got kids? And it was in the meeting, he was like, go back and think about it, you know, and then, but as soon as he said, I've got kids, it was a fucking immediate, it was the hardest but easiest decision I've ever made in my life. It's easy to just not box and have a good life with my family.
Is it in there? You didn't get it taken out?
No, it's still in there right now.
You obviously have to get it checked
every year.
Yeah.
Yearly
to see
if it's growing. Make sure it's not growing.